Rokk Players show. Hope you're all doing well. I am a bit low on guests today, as you can see. N7 joining us in a bit. Otherwise, it's just gonna be me, unless anyone feels like joining in. So what I will do is I will put the invite link in the chat. So if you want to join, to open mic. If you want to join, just click the open mic link that's being posted in the chat, and we can be on the show. Apparently failed posting to YouTube just because. Why? There we go. I think. Sorry if it's spammed. I think it's been posted now. There we go. So yeah, hope you're all doing well. It's been a few weeks since we did one of these last. I don't think we did it last week, did we? I think I was sick last week, or maybe the week before that. The weeks float together when you're sick. Yeah, I'm finally feeling better and back to normal. So here we are, and yeah, there's been a lot of news in these past few weeks. But before we get into that, as I said, N7 will join us in a bit, and we'll talk a bit about what's happening over at Bungie. He knows that far better than I do, so I want to get him on board to talk about that. As myself, I've been playing a couple of new games this past few weeks. Specifically, I did try out the one that I said on a couple of shows ago that I was going to try, the storybook one that was on Netflix Games, which was more of a puzzler than I thought, but also a lot of fun. Also played some City Skylines 2 recently, as well as Growth, apart from my usual FIFA and Baldur's Gate. But yeah, let's jump into some news, because let's see how much we can burn off before our friend gets here. Let's see, there we go. So first off, the first piece of news is actually a Baldur's Gate 3 related one. Borislav, the composer, retweeted this tweet from Baldur's Gate, from PC Gamer, that the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack is hitting the concert hall. It's the Game Music Festival, and they have a Last of Us show coming soon, but they also have a if I scroll down a little bit on the last post, you can see that they also have this one, the Symphony of the Realms featuring Yo Maker, welcome. Symphony of the Realms featuring music from Baldur's Gate 3 on May 4th, 2024, with the composer Borislav Slavov in the Royal Festival Hall in London. It was announced on the 31st, and it's already sold out. So yeah, and I can see why. Oh, sorry. Had that been in Stockholm, I would have, cut off an arm to get a ticket. So yeah, definitely understand why. So they film South Bank Centre and Philharmonic Orchestra will be playing some Baldur's Gate. There's also it's the same day, yeah. On the same day, there's also apparently a Last of Us concert. So yeah, definitely give Game Music Festival a follow. They seem to be UK-based, London-based. So either if you want to travel or if they expand, definitely want to check out if you like some video game music like I do. Moving on, keeping on the Baldur's Gate topic, the latest from Sven Vinke at Larian is that the Xbox edition is being actively play tested and still on schedule for this year. An exact date will arrive later on. Let's talk some Boostroid. Boostroid is rolling out their 4K, announcing that hey Raven, welcome. So Boostroid is announcing that they will be rolling out the 4K cloud gaming servers by late 2023 and early 2024 across US and Europe. This is running on some new AMD chips and together with R&D with Asus and AMD. That's been ongoing for over a year, and by then they also hope to have some Activision Blizzard games running on Boostroid. So yeah, 4K streaming coming to Boostroid in the future, closer than ever. Speaking of Call of Duty and Activision Blizzard games, Phil Spencer said in an interview 2 weeks ago that they have no goal of somehow trying to use Call of Duty to get you to buy an Xbox. There will be no exclusivity, don't worry about it. Essentially, we don't want you to feel like there's content you're missing out on. That's not the goal. We have no goal of somehow trying to use Call of Duty to get you to buy an Xbox. Moving on to some Netflix news. A report is out that it's an estimated figure. So 2 years after Netflix has rolled out the gaming service, the Netflix Games, apparently less than 1% of Netflix total subscribers play games daily using this. Which is way less than, I mean, I didn't expect it to be much, because it is a bit of a niche thing still. I mean, it's a lot of people don't know about it, and I mean, it's mobile games, high quality mobile games, but mobile games nonetheless. But less than 1% feels a bit weird. I would have assumed it was at least maybe 5%. And while I don't play daily, I do jump in every now and then. Like, it's a great way to get mobile games. Long day. So how are you guys? Maker, Raven, and everyone else. Next week, I think we'll have Netflix Gamer on, and then we can talk a bit more in depth about Netflix games. So there's been an announced release window for the Fallout TV series that is in production. It's going to be released in April 2024, set in Los Angeles. And apparently, up until this point, there have been, for Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, there has been performance-based pay targets tied to overall Xbox growth and Game Pass growth, but they will be... Oh, what's going on? Why am I so tired all of a sudden? I wasn't tired like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, according to this, they are getting rid of the target that Nadella's pay will be based on the amount of subscriber growth for Game Pass, which is interesting because I think that's where their focus is. Although I mean, it doesn't make that much sense for Nadella to have that connected. For Phil Spencer, I would assume. Nadella, maybe not. Some more countries are getting regional pricing on Steam. So Argentina and Turkey is being switched back to US dollars due to exchange rate volatility. And yeah, so over 25 countries in Latin America, the Middle East, and North Africa will receive a regional pricing. So it's Belize, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, Argentina, Bolivia, Ecuador, Guyana, Paraguay, Suriname, Venezuela, I guess that's supposed to be saying, Bahrain, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, Oman, Palestine, Turkey, Yemen, Algeria, Libya, Morocco, Tunisia, and Sudan. Not too surprising in a sense, but also, I mean, it's always better if there is regional pricing. But I think Valve is losing on money on the regional pricing, especially currently with the world economy as it is. So I can't really say I'm surprised. Moving on to some Ubisoft news, they have seen a 14% revenue bump in the first half of the year, and they also say that Assassin's Creed Mirage is a solid launch with user numbers in line with Odyssey and Origin entries, which is pretty good for what is essentially a big DLC to Valhalla. Great one though, I do enjoy it so far. So yeah, Mirage is doing well. Xbox is also doing some reorganization with the new with with them acquiring the company. Let's see here. I think this one had a better image of who's moving to where. There we go. So Sarah Bond and Matt Booty are both getting a bump up in the responsibilities. Phil Spencer still heads it all, and then I mean Bobby Kotick is a temporary position. He will be out of there soon, which I can't wait for. Yeah, some other names being shifted around. Some people who have been with the company for a long time leaving as well. I think one of them was just probably retiring, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I mean, so far I think Sarah Bond has been doing a pretty good job in the positions she had. She's now moving up to become president of Xbox. So hopefully that added responsibility is gonna end up with something good for us gamers. Fans of Dreamlight Valley can now expect that. I mean, they've already bought it, but anyone who's been eyeing it and waiting for it to drop to free to play, well, there won't be any free to play. Gameloft have announced that they will not be dropping it as a free to play title after all, which was the plan initially. They launched it as a buy now and get some bonuses when it goes free to play. Now it's gonna just not be on free to play. But yeah, it was planned to be free to play, but it will no longer be. Xbox, in a strange move, they are apparently opening up for more companies to make Xbox controllers, but while doing that, they're also apparently going to lock down the Xbox consoles to not work with unauthorized third-party controllers, and peripherals, which feels weird. I don't know what they're doing with that. It feels like though, why would they do that? It feels like they either would do that because they, and it's soon too, like from the 12th of November, I think that is, or is it the 11th of December? I don't ever know. Yeah, okay, November 12th, which means like, I don't understand it. Why would they do that? It's like, if it works, it works. Why? It's being blocked from use. Preserve the console game. It's a weird thing. At least they're launching, opening it up for more people to make official peripherals for them. Hopefully the price tag won't, things won't grow too much due to that. And apparently there's a patent that details a handheld that splits in two by Nintendo. Hey! How you doing, man?
How's it going?
How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Sorry about
Nice.
that. I was actually, funny enough, was playing a little bit of Destiny.
Yeah, it's been a lot of Destiny news this week, and I figured I need someone who knows something about Destiny other than, and has played for more than the 10 hours I played with Sadie launched. So glad you could make it, because I need someone to help me make sense of that, those Destiny news. But how are you? Have been playing anything other than Destiny lately?
I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield, Ark Survival Ascended, the remastered of Ark, and then just some occasional games around. I've actually been going through GFN's free section and playing some of those, trying those out, so it's actually been really fun.
I mean, it is fun doing those kind of projects. I remember apart from the insane touch controller project I did with trying every single game on Xbox Game Pass with touch controls. Don't recommend doing a project that big. It was too big, too much work. But I did do something like I tried every single game on Stadia Pro for 30 minutes at one point that I hadn't played before. And that was fun because I did find a lot of games that I was like, I didn't expect I would like this, but apparently I do. I can imagine it's the same with playing the free-to-play section of GFN, but hey, this is actually kind of fun. Why haven't I given this a look before?
Yeah, exactly.
So have you found any gems so far? The unexpected gems?
Not yet. Not yet.
Ah,
But again, I've been only doing maybe about an hour or so, and then because then do other things or I get called for to do something else. So I've not really actually had time to focus. But I'm pretty sure
yeah,
there's some.
I
really
mean,
good
after an
gems.
hour, you probably get the gist of the game and feel like, is this something for me or not? Even though you probably need like 10 hours to really get into a game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can probably tell like if it's something for you quite quickly. But yeah. So apparently, what do you think about this design, by the way? Bring it a little bit bigger. For a Nintendo handheld, it's apparently a patent that they filed. With a like slide, we could slide it up to get more.
Oh, it's like a flip. Those old time flip phones.
Yeah, or like the.
Oh, really?
Like the remember the old Xperia phones where.
Oh
they
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
the
You
game
boot into the
controller or
keyboard.
on, yeah.
Oh,
those
that is.
So, seems like they've filed a patent for a Switch-like console that can do something like that. I don't
Really?
think this is for Switch 2, but maybe
Okay.
Switch 3. I don't know if it says anything. Like the handle would consist of two separate devices with screens. The second of which would also have a screen on its reverse side. So technically 3 screens.
Really? So it can go straight up but then flip.
Yeah, and you can flip it into one big screen. Or you can have
Interesting. Okay.
very strange. The filing, it was filed about a year ago, and also requested early publication, so it would be made public before the standard 18-month time frame. Weirdly enough. Yeah, I mean, patents can lead to nothing as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
when I hear like Nintendo and all that, I think more boxy type. So it's interesting seeing the more rounded side. When I was like, oh wait, because I was thinking in my head, I was like, that looks like a PlayStation product, but then I was like, oh no, that's Nintendo. Okay.
I mean, it would be interesting to see if something came out of this. Handhelds can all like. I miss the flip phones and the sliding keyboard stuff. I wish someone would make like someone should make that again. It was pretty cool. Like have a built-in controller in your phone that can just slide out, and you can put in a physical keyboard.
So it looks like a 190 is like paddles or like a bumpers, like a triggers. Looks like.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, interesting idea. We'll see if something comes out of it in like a year or 2 or 5 or 10. Who knows?
Yeah, most definitely.
Are you a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, I try to avoid horror games if possible. So.
Yeah, same. But at least the movie is doing really well. So, I mean, this seems to be like what is this? Like the third video game based movie in recent years that hasn't been bad. Is the curse finally gone, you think? Like, are we finally going to get have Hollywood figured out how to make video game adaptations to movies not suck?
Yeah, I've been hearing positive reviews from my gamer friends who've seen it.
Yeah,
so.
And I mean it's done 80 million domestically in the opening,
nice.
Which is pretty great. So yeah, I mean apparently Rose's daughter said it was really good. And again, I've heard good things about it. I also like that they brought on MatPat, who basically made like I don't know if you're aware of it, but like MatPat essentially made up the lore.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather,
He was the spearheader.
Like, what if the lore is this? And then the creator of the game was like, well, now it is. There was no lore to begin with, but now there is. And he's apparently in the movie. And I saw a video of him being like, "Hey, now that the movie is out, I can actually say I'm in the movie." It's like 3 lines, and he was specifically brought on by the creator of the game. Like he needs to be in there.
That is cool.
Yeah. So he had one 8-hour day of shooting, and then he was done. So yeah, Final Fantasy Freddy's. The movie is apparently good.
Rouser said my daughter saw a FNAF movie. She said it was very good.
And she's never played the game though. We don't know if it's a good adaptation, although I've heard it's a good adaptation.
It's like Slender Man. When that was the big craze, I was like, nah, I'm going to be away from that.
Yeah. But you're a shooter guy, right? You like your shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you played the finals open beta? That's been.
No. I've been sort of busy with other things, but I've been hearing whispers about the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I played it when they had the closed beta a couple of months ago. And I mean, I'm not a shooter guy. Like I like the concept of it, but I'm just too bad, so I don't really.
Have you seen like quality of life changes since the closed and now this?
I haven't played the open beta yet, so I haven't even looked at it. But the closed beta was really good. Like I had fun, even though I sucked. And I generally don't enjoy competitive shooters because I'm so bad at them. But this I had fun with anyway, and it looks just incredible. Like the visuals are out of this world. They're a bit in the news this week because they are apparently for the in-game casters. Because I mean it's like a game show that you're playing in. It's like so like you're playing in a virtual game show, like Ready Player One like a game show. So there are like in the game there are casters commenting on what's happening in the game and be like, oh the box is open over here, and then that obviously tells you where to go, but also just add some flavor. But apparently someone noticed and asked, and then they've confirmed that they use AI voices a fair bit to for these casters, and that has stirred the pot. Let's just put it that way. I've seen a lot of people being like, "I'm gonna boycott this game now," and like a lot of ethical people having a lot of ethical issues with it, which I understand. And they say they use both recorded and audio generated via AI text-to-speech. So they received some like in response to them receiving the criticism for using this. They came out and said we use a combination of it, and sometimes recording real scenes where actors get together. Allowing characters' chemistry and conflict to shape the outcome is something that adds depth to our game worlds and technology that technology can't emulate. But they also say that every now and then it's like for us, if they basically said something along the lines of like, we want to, like, sometimes we come up with an idea and we want to have a finished voice line an hour later to put into the game. Just like prototype it, like live prototype, and see how it works, because they are working really like agile in the way they're building things. And so that's why I decided to use it, and I figured it worked kind of good for some things, so they just kept doing it. But yeah, they've also explained that creating games without actors is not the end goal here. So trying to calm things down a little bit, but yeah, I can also see, especially with unregulated use of AI in video games being such a big topic in this fall, I can see that the issue.
Yeah.
But I mean, Embark is known for, like, I mean, they haven't released the first game yet. The finals will be their first game when it releases, but it's not out yet. But they are known to be like the AI leaders in AI in video game development. Like they do. Hang on, let's see if we can't. Embark Studios. So, I mean, let's see here. They have this. Is it the blog? Yeah, the blog. That's what it is. So they have this Medium blog where they show off some of the things that they do a lot of research.
Okay.
So I mean, for example, these two, I've shown these ones before, but I do love them. So great opportunity to show it again. Sorry. So basically, if you look at this clip, this. I don't know, let's mute that. So this robot. This is like some recordings from. This is real-time recordings of them basically telling this robot that they designed, being like, "Hey, so this is the physics of the world. These are your limbs. This is how you move them. Get from point A to point B. Figure it out." So all these animations that you see are AI generated. And then they just export all of these animations into the game and be like, yeah, done. And it can handle, things things being thrown at it and being pushed and things like that. So like this is for their game Arc Raiders, where this will be one of the like big enemies that will be in the game, and like it will obviously then there be a lot bigger and have weapons and stuff. But yeah, that's how they animate that. And they've done this animation technology, like they built this technology, and they've used it for more than just like this robot spider. They've used it for things like, I saw a clip of it in a documentary, where they use it for like animating birds. I mean, like this bird should flap its wing, like figure like this is a bird. Get from point A to point B, figured out, and then they went for the weekend, came back on Monday, and they had finished animations, so they had learned how to fly.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's just one of the many things they do. Another thing is so like a game like, in a game like Battlefield, for example, Battlefield is known for being so or Battlefront too, for example, like the photorealistic, everything looks so good. The reason is they take like 1,000 pictures of an object from all kind of angles, and then they build a mesh and unwrap the UVs and bake textures, and in 3 to 5 days of manual work for one person, they turn these 5,000 images into a finished model to put in the game. That looks really, really, really good. That's a technology that's been around for quite a while. They have figured out how to do it with AI. So they basically just load in. They can go in and change everything here. So here they show off some like the main hurdles of being like, then you need to do cleanup, and then you need to, at some point you're done, you then put on the textures. Instead, they do this. They take the 5,000 images, then they put it into a tool, click a button, and then wait for 15 minutes, and then they have a complete asset to put into the game. Like that's kind of game changing for making video games, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the sort of thing they're already doing in the company. There's also another one where, like, they do things where they put down an object, and then they have so like you put down a tree, and then you have like this small little AI figure, assistant that plops down a tree in a similar way but slightly different, and then you put down a tree and next to a rock, and then a small bush next to the tree, and then the AI does the same, but slightly different than somewhere else. So like you can basically have a co-creator who does, like, copies you, but like not one-to-one, so that it looks copied, but they do the same thing but with a different angles, and maybe the rock is in front of the tree this time instead. Like they do things like that. So you could have that 5 of those agents and populate a forest area for your game map in a matter of minutes instead of hours. So yeah, they are a company who does that sort of thing. So I understand why they would be like, hey, yeah, maybe AI voice is a good idea. I also understand the maybe people not being too happy about it. Something happening in live. Let's bring this up. FYI, there seems to be some sort of global outage. For GFN.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if GFN isn't working properly right now, then I guess check the status page, status.geforcenow.com, and keep track of what's happening. There's some sort of global outage. They're working on it, and it should be back before long. But yeah, if you're
good thing I got off when I did.
Exactly. So yeah, hopefully it sorts itself out before long. And yeah, that was the story.
I was also watching a video on Trackmania where a guy used AI learning to see if he could build an AI to beat him in his record. And after, I think it was 3 years of doing things, it finally beat his record. But he pretty much had to program for each of the tracks. So it's not like a human where, once we get a knowledge of the general gist of how the controls work, we can sort of adapt it to the tracks. With him, he had to run the simulation on one specific track, then it could beat him, but then would have to do months again on training on another track. So it's just interesting how that works.
Yeah, and I mean, there are AIs that can do the more continuous thing, where they can bring in the knowledge into the next one. But yeah, I've seen there's a lot of really cool clips on the internet on YouTube of like people having, showing all of these agents in at the same time, and you can see them try again until they figure it out. So yeah, you could do some cool stuff with it, and I think it's been a couple of years since we saw it last. But do you remember when like OpenAI and I think also DeepMind also had some like StarCraft and League of Legends AIs? Do you see those?
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's been a few years since we saw anything last, but they've been pretty cool. So there's a lot it is possible to make some AIs that can take those learnings and bring them with them to the next game. And also, I just feel like I'm excited about the idea of having, AI opponents that match your skill level. Like instead of having a difficulty being like, no, I mean you can maybe tweak it to be like, I want it to be slightly difficult, slightly on the difficult side, or I want it to be slightly on the easy side, or in the middle. And it just matches your skill. So if you're really bad, it will be also really bad, and if you're really, 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 really good, it will do its very best. That would be. Feels like that is just around the corner. Would be cool to have.
Yep.
But yeah, let's talk Destiny. So yeah, there's been about 100 people let go from Bungie, and reportedly due to revenue being 45% below the projections that they had set. So what's going on with Destiny?
I'm probably not the best person to ask because I've not actually done the research myself, so I can only go based on speculation and personal. So if you want to use me as a source, I would say I'm not the best one. Just want to establish that. I've not done, but I actually did. So from what I've heard, it's 100 people have been laid off and all that, and it mainly is a big talk in my community since we're Destiny focused. And the fight is just talking, and there's some of us that are like, well, layoffs happen and all that, and then others are sort of panicking about the status of DLC and all that. They did make a post on Bungie.net about, I can't really say it's an apology letter, but it is just more of a, I see it as a reassurance that they're still wanting to do. So go to learn more, and it's the most recent one. Yeah, scroll down. There you go. That one. So it's short and sweet, but it's pretty much just saying, hey, we're still wanting to continue, even though there are delays and all that.
Yeah. And apparently, I did read somewhere that they had done some, early test, some testing on the final shape, and people and came like the results was like it's good, but it's not great. So they are apparently. Am I understanding correctly in that they're trying to take, now go back and give it some more time in the oven?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is probably a good idea then. I mean, if because the latest expansion obviously didn't sell well enough. It sold like 45% below what they expected, which is, I mean, if you take any company and then go like, oh yeah, our revenue is 45% less than we expected this year, there's gonna be layoffs. Like that's just the way it is. It sucks, but it is the way businesses work. Like if that happened to where I'm employed, there would be massive layoffs as well. Like that's not strange. Maybe like obviously someone put those targets in the first place, and maybe they shouldn't have been those targets. But at the same time, you can't really like. It is a target like that is just an estimate.
Yep. And also, there's been again, I have not seen it, but they talked about the CEO was saying that he's blaming the player base for why all this is happening, and so there's a little uproar on that.
I mean, you'd never say that. Come on. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean the way it was handled as well. Like, I don't know if this article put this out, but like they were. I mean, yeah. So like, Pete Parsons has said earlier this month, the Bungie will be cutting costs with salary and hiring freezes, as well as limiting travel, and now also some layoffs. Hey, look, who's there? Hello. Hey, Vet, how you doing, man?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh my God,
Loud and
things are
clear.
working. Wait, something's got to be wrong because nothing ever works for
And
me.
you're not. Last time you were on, your house was leading like this.
I know. Like I don't know what's going. Hold on. Let me.
Your house.
There we go. There we go.
Now I can relax. Now I feel
Okay.
with, yeah.
Well, I mean, I did hear that GFN is down, so
Yeah.
global outage. You know, okay. I can't. Now I see what people are talking about. I can't wear glasses when I'm on podcast because it's just I'm reading.
Oh,
chat
the
then.
reflect.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the filters and stuff because I
don't have filters. It's not filters.
Okay, so
we have a better lighting setup than Vet does.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Okay.
Now you can see. Yeah, there we go.
The big square.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's not working.
Okay, I see. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what did I miss? Anything fun?
We're just talking about the infamous Destiny 2 layoffs and.
Oh, I heard it was drama. Just because I heard it was because it was Destiny 2's been underperforming, so they had to let people go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they said that someone at the higher up management said was like, yeah, we're gonna sell this much next year, we think, and then they sold 45% below that.
Maybe they should set the. Well, I know, but maybe set your bar low. That way, you always exceed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not like super low, but you want to set it like.
Yeah,
not abnormally high
though,
either.
Like, if you set your target, like if you expect a certain level, then you hire people and you spend with that expectation in mind. So obviously, yeah, they're bleeding money now due to that, of course. I mean,
Witch Queen, which was 2 DLCs ago, was amazing. The community loved it. It had really good prices and all that. But then Lightfall, which is the most actually no, Beyond. Wait. I want to make sure I get my DLCs correct. I know I'm a Destiny player and I should know this, but
this is why they got laid off right there. There we go. The reason even
good thing I'm not hired by Bungie right now. Am I right?
I know, right? Oh, what's going on? Hold on, let me get the. Oh man, I should know this. Well, I don't know what's going on. This is not good.
But yeah, the current DLC is just underperformed because it was mainly a lot of players didn't like it because of the story. It was meh for them, and so that could be they were like, hey, Witch Queen did well, we'll release this next one and it should be fine, but then it dropped. So
yeah, and I spoke to Rokk about it the other day, and he said something along the lines of like, I mean, that it like a couple of years ago the Destiny 2 was quite accessible, and like the DLCs were maybe built a little bit more with the casual audience in mind, whereas the latest ones are more focused on the hardcore players. Which is, and I mean, the hardcore players are the ones who spend the most money and the most time in the game, of course. But you kind of need both.
Yeah.
For a game of this size, like you can't set aside one of those two groups of players. Like the times when my favorite MMO, Guild Wars 2, when they've struggled the most, it's been when they try to focus on one over the other. Like, you gotta focus on both, otherwise you lose your audience. And then that's a hard struggle to get back from.
Yep.
Like, trust is easy. It's hard to build up, but it's easy to get rid of. That's just the way it is. But also, like the way they handled these layoffs were also not great. There were reports of people being sent an email that they were being laid off, and then being told but don't tell anyone about it just yet. People in one team being oh yeah, so don't tell your team members why you're leaving now and not coming back tomorrow. Which of course they did anyway, which any normal human being would. And I mean, there were like the composers have been let go. And the composer took to Twitter was and said, hey, remember when id and like the composer for Doom had this big fight, and that someone brought up like receipts and do like prove their points and stuff. Guess who else has a lot of receipts, and then he just didn't comment anymore after that. So there seems to be a lot of anger, and I mean, obviously, if you get laid off, I get being angry. That's probably one of the first emotions you'll feel. But it feels like the way this has been handled feels like it's been is causing a lot more resentment than they maybe need to.
Yeah.
So hopefully, and I mean, especially in the time where like I mean, just this week alone, there's been like I've seen 3 headlines of layoffs. It feels like there's layoffs constantly in the games industry. So while 2023 has been one of the best years for us gamers in terms of the games we're getting,
I mean,
it's been one of the worst for the industry in a sense.
Worse for
Apple seems to be doing okay in gaming. They're getting new stuff. I mean, not themselves, but through Sega.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the games industry in general,
as a whole, everybody's
there's layoffs.
Everyone's suffering and all that.
And I mean, the global economy plays a big part in that, of course, as well. We can't say that it's like, oh, this game underperformed. No, I mean, the global economy is fucking everything up as well.
Because I was looking up an article here. Apparently, there's a game, Company of Heroes 3, cut 121 employees this year.
Yeah. I mean, not nice.
That's even more than Bungie, and so it's not just Bungie by itself. There's others being affected.
I mean, didn't Epic just like a month ago? Epic closed the whole studio behind Fall Guys.
Oh yeah.
This whole studio is closed. Media Molecule, who is behind Dreams and Little Big Planet, they're laying off people. Naughty Dog is laid off like dozens of contractors.
What's going on, Rudigs? I see you in the chat there.
Yeah.
I did see your comment, Miss Phoenix. So, I'm watching. I saw that one.
So yeah, I mean, it's a strange time for games, because I mean, at the same time, we've seen some of the best games. Like the amount of games that come out this year. If it had come out last year, it would have been Game of the Year last year. There's like I can think of like 10 games that would have been up for Game of the Year last year that this year is like probably not even close.
I mean, we know what Game of the Year is going to be this year, right?
Which one is it?
Bluey. Oh, okay, sorry.
Bluey ain't out yet. We can't.
I honestly I thought that's where you were going to go with it, so I was like, wow, we are on different wavelengths there.
Bluey might be up there as well. But would you agree? Like, this is one of the craziest years for gaming we have ever seen.
Well, yeah, because there's been such good games across the board on all platforms. Spider-Man 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield. I mean, the list can go on.
Hogwarts
Some of the
Legacy,
indie titles.
Resident Evil remake.
There's been a crazy amount of games.
New fucking Zelda game in the first time forever.
Alan Wake 2. Yeah,
City Skylines 2. Like, there's so many great games. Like,
it's
all of
crazy.
these games that we've just mentioned would have been there was a new Final Fantasy out this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's a brand new Sonic the Hedgehog 3D platformer game coming out.
2D Mario.
I mean, granted, the Sonic the Hedgehog will be exclusive to Apple Arcade, but is nonetheless
released.
It's still new.
Yeah, I mean,
it's brand new.
All of these games would have been in the discussion for Game of the Year had they come out last year.
Yeah, Neil, I didn't even think of that one. Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda.
Zelda.
Final Fantasy,
Super Mario Odyssey.
The list.
Wonder, not Odyssey.
I remember when Hogwarts Legacy came out in the beginning of the year, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is definitely gonna be a Game of the Year." I think it might be.
I just realized that all anyone can see is just wanted.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Rudy, for pointing out that the rest is apparently wanted.
I just realized,
which I don't believe.
I just totally. I just realized that.
That's great.
Oh man! Well, we got the chat livened up at least.
Yeah, awesome.
I was telling people, they were like, "Hey, so where have you been? Like, you haven't really been on Discord much." I was like, October just hit me hard with so many games, I just can't keep up.
Yeah.
So,
dude, well, and that's like, I'm in the I don't do the hardcore games, but I do the cozy stuff, and that's the same thing. It's like there's so many games in that genre, and just as a whole that I mean, I play games offline as well, and there are just so many. Like Disney Dreamlight Valley just dropped. You know, they're bringing multiplayer now, where you can go, everybody can trade in the store, and Apple Arcade's getting Disney Dreamlight Valley Arcade Edition, which is essentially just the game that's in the App Store, but you also get the $30 expansion included for free. So if you pay $6 a month for Apple Arcade, you then get that all of that. So that's like, I don't know what they're charging for both, but you're basically getting that expansion pack in the $60 game for free included in it. You're getting a new Sonic the Hedgehog game that nobody else can play in that, and then in NBA. I was telling somebody else this, like, my thing is, like, the company to watch out for in the gaming, if they wanted to start getting into gaming, is Apple. And I think, like, we're going to start to see more games showing up on Apple Arcade, because I think what Apple's going to do is partner, because they sat back and they saw what happened with Microsoft with the Xbox Activision deal and how long that dragged out. Now, if Apple did something with, like Sega, versus if they tried to buy them, same concept would happen. If you partner with them, you don't have to do anything. That's just it's a partnership.
Do you think they will actually create games for themselves, or you still think that they'll just partner? I think they would go into development at all.
I don't know if I don't think they'll create games. I don't know if they want to do that. They know what works best, and that's hardware and their subscriptions and things like that. I think they would do Rokk. I think they would do much better if they just focused on partnering, because then you don't have to do that's less work you have to do, right?
Yeah,
you just promote Apple
also, like, Apple's seen how it's been for other companies trying to get into gaming and set up
Amazon, Google, even Xbox,
setting up a game service, like a game developing studio. It costs a lot of money. It takes several years. And it's not easy.
And Apple doesn't like to. I mean, granted, Apple does take years to do things, but that's when it comes to hardware. They could focus on keeping Apple Arcade.
Apple is a hardware company at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, and if you think about it, it makes more sense. They could partner with companies, let them do all the hard work with the games, and then just focus on
and I mean, in this day and age, if Apple comes and be like, hey, so if we give you $20 million, will you port Assassin's Creed over to the new iPhone? Ubisoft will be like, yeah, we need fucking money. Yeah, go.
And that's what they did. I'm waiting for it to launch so I can test it out on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. But that's the thing is, like, you start seeing all these games start to show up in, like, Apple Arcade, or even just the games that are getting ported because Apple says, here, have some of our trillions of dollars. Now bring this game to us. It will start showcase, like, what's the best way to advertise it is, hey, go buy a Mac Mini. It's $600. There's your gaming console. If you have an Apple TV, you can hop from one device to the next.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm never gonna buy an Apple product anyway. So.
No, I understand it, but that's the thing is, like, Google had the opportunity. They were
in the non-Apple household.
That's what I'm getting at. Is I'm comparing. Google had the right thinking. They just got out of the game too soon, in my opinion.
The upper management of Google got cold feet.
And I think they're gonna, in the long run, they're gonna regret that decision.
The thing is, I think Apple, Apple also feels like they could get cold feet, but I don't think they would be like pull out of it. But I can see them being like, yeah, so these, spending this much money to bring like AAA games to phones and to Mac. Didn't really pay off, did it? No, let's just not do that again. And then
that's the thing is, like, I think they're going to they're testing the waters with the games going to the phone, but who's to say that if it doesn't pan out and they don't get people buying into it, they do an arcade edition and they put it on the arcade. Yeah. That's a whole lot easier to do. I don't know how how difficult it is, but it's got to be cheaper that way.
I think Apple Arcade is proven for them already, just like Google, Play Pass is proven for Google. Those two are gonna be there forever, and are great value services. Like,
the difference between the two is Apple Arcade is strictly gaming, and Google's does everything.
Yeah, Play Pass has some apps in as well. And especially like what I really like about Play Pass is like some of the games that's on there. It's like, yeah, it's a free to play game, but all of the in-app purchases are now free, which means you can, like,
Yeah, I know. I like that. With
Mhm.
I don't know where my device is, but with
a mini
my
golf game that my kids was interested in, and I went into it, I was like, oh, so you can like buy like flags of like every single nation in the world.
Yeah.
Like there's like 50,000 ball colors, and you can use
well, it's like with
premium
the Razer
versions
Edge.
of that. And it's
Think
like,
of all the
and it was like,
Android-based handheld
yeah, it is.
devices
Yeah,
that can essentially take advantage of the Play Pass.
yeah. I mean, Play Pass is like, and Play Pass and Apple Arcade. They're also like, if you buy a year, they're so cheap. So it's like a pretty much no brainer. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I looked at it as like, okay, Play Pass is $6.99, and there are games, or not Play Pass, Apple Arcade. I think it's either $6.99 or it might be not. I don't know what they raised the price to, but I'm just
yeah,
like, even if they raised it to
like 35, like
yeah, it's
35
like
bucks.
yeah, and even but if you think about it, one game that's on there, if you bought that game in by itself, if it's $60 and you get it for free,
Yeah,
through Play
and I
Pass,
mean, even if it's like $5, and then like, it's like, yeah, if you play like, this costs, having access to 800 games costs you to play 40 games that you were interested in, and another 10 that you were like, yeah, I mean, might as
you
well.
mean like PlayStation with
Yeah,
their cloud? Theirs is the same way. Like if I play 3 games in that catalog that I play the entire thing from start to finish, it's already paid for in itself.
yeah. And I think that's kind of like where I'm at with Play Pass and Arcade as well. Like, they're great services. But speaking of a lot of games, there's there's a bunch of if you're into indie games and wanna send some medical aid to the people in Gaza, the civilians, there's a fundraiser going on with
Holy crap! They've almost got. How long has this been active?
it's been up for a couple of days, like 3 or 4 days.
Nice.
And they've
So
raised that much money in 3 days?
Yeah.
Good
So
lord!
essentially, you pay $10 and you get 256 items. It's indie games, it's visual novels, it's some.
Yeah, but
board
sometimes
games
indie
from
games are
Cookout.
better than AAA games. I've
I
learned
mean,
that.
Oh yeah.
Like, you remember
yeah.
Gunsport from Stadia? That's it.
Yeah, but that's the thing is,
Um,
I learned how good indie games can be, and it took Stadia to give me that wake up.
Yeah. So basically, there's like tabletop role playing games in here, and there's a bunch of stuff in here. Nothing, like, very little games that I've ever heard of, but who cares? It's like, if you want to have access to 250, like, spend $10 to get access to 250 different things.
And you're supporting a good cause.
And you're helping support a good
I
cause.
wonder if I
Yeah,
could set up a
great.
page that says "Games for Vet," and then
I've
Instead of you donating money, look, I just want you to donate me games.
I've actually reached out to Humble to be like, hey, what are the requirements to do like a Humble bundle? Because it would be like, I don't think they
that
would
would be
reply to me, but like, if they reply and if it's possible, I would love to do like a Gaming for Mental Health Humble bundle in February next year.
That would be
That'd
awesome.
be cool. That would be cool.
I don't think I will hear back from them though. But you
No,
never
but
know.
it's still cool to
I've
check into that.
I've done the first step. I've asked.
Hey,
We'll see.
Yeah.
all it takes.
Most people don't even ask, but yeah. So
Yep.
Games for Gaza over at itch.io. $10 for 250 cool indie games. Well
Very
worth
cool.
checking out.
So here, a little bit of a deviation, if I can. I wanted to get your thoughts. So recently, Twitch opened up the gates to be able to multi-stream to other platforms. Just recently, because back then, other people did it anyway, but in the terms of TOS, you couldn't.
Technically not allowed.
yeah,
Yeah.
but now they said
Rather,
it's
first
totally
they were
fine.
like,
Well,
you're technically not allowed to. Then they were like, you're definitely fucking not allowed to. Stop.
Well,
it. And
you're
they were like,
technically you're
okay,
still not
fine.
there. It's tricky because they didn't explain it very well, and then they had to.
Mhm.
If you read the terms, the way it's set up, if you are an affiliate, as long as you don't have an exclusive contract with them,
Mhm.
anybody can multi-stream. But you're
they
also not allowed to speak about it. You can't like if you're live and you're using Twitch, you can't be like, "Hey, I'm live streaming on this and this platform."
Mhm.
It has to be in the about page.
Furthermore, you're not even allowed to interact with chat from other platforms.
No, you can. But the thing
You
is,
can,
that's
okay.
for you that's for you as a personal. You cannot show the chat in the stream
Yeah,
itself.
so like for example, I could not do this.
Oh my God, Ron, Jesus! Oh my God! You know what though? He's got a point
that is a
though.
comment from YouTube, and should be and technically that comment was now shown on Twitch, which is technically not allowed.
Oops.
Well, sorry, Rob. We forgot to.
Amazon can go fuck themselves. I don't care.
Rokk, I have no part of this, buddy.
Yeah.
I just showed up. I pushed a button. I don't know where I'm at half the time. Okay, forget that it says wanted.
Yeah, but I just wanted to see what your thoughts on. Do you have any thoughts on why they decided to open it up, so to speak?
I think
pressure from the community.
Twitch, yeah, pressure from the community, and I think Twitch, because before they opened this up, they were doubling down on it first, like even first, like so if it's like they. Yeah, I think Twitch is currently at a position where like they are losing numbers to Kick and YouTube and maybe even Facebook Gaming at this point.
Sorry, I can't. You already shot it, so it don't matter. But I can't straight out of prison.
No live.
You got the orange. You got the orange shirt, and
I know.
This is the new black, but
you know what? I'm gonna get a necklace that says that. I'm gonna get one custom designed that says that, and it's gonna have NUGG and then a Z at the end, and then life. We got to get it done.
Yeah.
But no, I think the amount of people that high profile streamers that they lost to Kick, even though Kick is just utter excuse my language, but
like,
shitstorm.
Even before they started losing people to Kick, they lost a lot of high profile streamers to YouTube.
And then Facebook has been starting to build up again as well. They've been. I mean,
in some of these cases, money was changing hands. In some of them, they weren't. Some people have gone back to Twitch now. Some people still haven't. New people have left. It's. I think Twitch is starting to they are realizing that they need to do something, but they don't know.
Yeah, because when you're losing a ton of money on a daily basis, and then you add in, competition, you have to do something to compete.
Yeah, and I mean,
the things
they've tried so far, like saying you're not allowed to, roll advertisements that are not going through us, so we make the money over them as well, or you're not allowed to, the things like that they've been doing in the beginning of the year.
It's hurt them.
They have an uphill battle. Yeah, it's hurt them. They have an uphill battle.
Well, and you've got all of these other platforms that are popping up. You've got Trovo, you've got LiveSpace, you've got Kick, and obviously the big players, YouTube and Facebook Gaming. I mean, you got 5 places right there alone that are competing with, trying to get people to use their platform over the biggest one, which is still Twitch. Mm-hmm. In the long run, that's your brand. That's the one you compete with.
Twitch has two problems. The first is that they have one problem, and then they have one thing going for them. The thing they have going for them is that they've managed to create such a culture. Because if you go into Twitch and it's not just the concept of raiding and the concept because all of them have that now, but if you go into a YouTube stream, someone becoming a member or gifting members, that's a rare thing in general. That's something that someone does and they're like, oh wow, so you did that. Whereas on Twitch, they have with that and with the whole bits and with the streamer points that everyone seems to be doing.
There's just so many things that they
redeeming and spending money on the streamers that isn't there on the others.
Right, but then you've also got companies that the watch parties. But the other you've got watch parties, co-streaming, features like that with Ubisoft or some of these other companies. But then Twitch took it the next step and said, hey, are you a Prime member? Are you a Twitch content streamer? Guess what? Now you can host watch parties and pick any show that's on Amazon Prime, and you're not going to get flagged. So you have that feature as well. They have so many things.
They have and then everything with Twitch drops and so Twitch has a lot of things going for them. They have this culture of the Twitch culture, and I think that's why a lot of people stay with Twitch. I was in the stream the other day with I started watching one stream and then I realized he was about to close down a stream, so I went over to the next Like, I wanted to watch someone play City Skylines before I jumped in myself to just get a grip of what was new. And then this guy jumped in with he was playing this is for the first time ever, never played City Skylines at all before, and he had something like 100 viewers. And then the other guy who had 900 viewers just rated him, and that the way that like that whole stream went, and like the vibe that was in the chat, it was like, yeah, this is why people like Twitch.
Well,
and then they have this whole issue where, like, if you're not in that top row of that game and you don't get rated, there is no discoverability at all. You need to do, like, whereas for example, YouTube has everything in, like, if you're a creator starting out, if you start out on YouTube, you have everything you need. Like, you have the short form, like advertisement for your channel, like that, which TikTok and YouTube Shorts basically is. Or even though it's content in its own right, you have the long form content and you have the live streams. So you have everything in one place. You have the community posts as well. Like, if YouTube wanted to compete with Twitter, they could. So, like, I think YouTube is the no-brainer place to go if you don't already have a following on Twitch. But Twitch has that culture with that.
Well, and that's the thing. If you ask people, I'm thinking of getting into streaming, the first thing they're going to say is, go to Twitch. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say go to Twitch. Nobody recommends YouTube. Yeah. And in reality, YouTube's still playing catch up. Even with all of the things that they've added, they're still, in my mind, they're still playing catch up to Twitch. There's a few features that they still need that would put them right back up there.
Yeah. I think, like, if you're just going to stream, then you probably want to stream on Twitch, or one other streaming platforms. But if you want to do videos, like short form and long form as well as streaming, there's like there used to be people had their YouTube channels, and then they had they had maybe a TikTok account, and then they had Twitch for streaming, and then be like, hey, I'm going live on Twitch in 1 hour, see you there, and then post short with that. If that's your plan, just go straight to YouTube. It just makes more sense, I think, and then you can restream to Twitch if you want to. Like, go for it. But like, if you're solely planning on just streaming, then yeah, Twitch is the better option still. But
don't expect a large.
Don't expect more than one
jump.
viewer.
Yeah, exactly. For
like, whenever
a little bit,
I stream on Twitch, because like, which is very rare at this point. It's like, if I get one viewer, I'm lucky. For 5 minutes, I'm lucky. Whereas on YouTube, it'll be like, I mean, people will pop in and drop out, but it will be like it's a lot easier to find traction as a small channel or small creator on YouTube.
I think it helps too is having the thumbnail, and that gets integrated into the algorithm while people are doing searches. And, like with Twitch, it's boom, you're live streaming, but it's interesting because I've been doing stream for a while bit.
On like if you go into like, let's say you go into Cyberpunk, the category Cyberpunk on Twitch, and then you see like there's some titles with a lot of keywords in it, so you can't really tell what they are anyway, because it's just keywords. And then you have, you see the game in all of them, and then you see some sort of face cam in all of them. And it's like that small, like, oh, I see a preview of a face cam. I have no idea what's happening. Like, why would you click any other than like first row, someone in the first row? Right? Unless you really know what you do. Like, this is a game I really know. Like, I can see, like, if you were to go into the Destiny 2 playlist and be like, I want to find someone who's never played Destiny 2 before, just streaming that, because that's a lot of fun, then you can definitely find that. Be like, oh, here's someone with 2 viewers. I'll jump in and, because that is a lot of fun. I've done that at some points with like Guild Wars and stuff. But yeah, it's very different. So yeah. So I don't think it will be and I agree. As a consumer myself, also, like, if I go to Twitch, it's like I need something to be in the background for 3 hours while
background noise, white noise. Yeah,
and I don't have a long form video queued up that can fill that void for me. It's like, I'll just go and pick something on Twitch, whatever. Or if it's like, Twitch drops for this game I'm actually playing right now, it would be fun with some more cosmetic. I'll put something on the background, whatever. Otherwise, like, I never go to Twitch for consuming.
I do just to watch. I do to watch. I watch Thursday Night Football. but
Yeah.
that's because they hooked up with the NFL.
Oh,
I heard WWE has got some kind of contract with them now, or the whoever owns the WWE now, because I know it's not
nice.
Vince,
Okay.
but they've got some, so they're allowing their wrestlers to now stream on the platform. But that's the thing, is they've got all those things there. But like you said, YouTube's the one that has everything.
Yeah.
Like TikTok is the big thing with the kids these days. I don't use it. I watch those on YouTube. That's what the shorts are.
You can repost them.
Yeah, or I watch it on Facebook.
The only thing I would say though, something that TikTok has added recently, that, or maybe it's been there forever, but I discovered it recently, is if you long press on the edge of the screen on TikTok, it will fast forward. Like you can watch the video 2x the speed.
Oh, 2 times.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't see. I go on there, but I don't understand anything.
Yeah. So,
and really, all I
to me,
watch
is like,
is
oh, this
videos.
is like someone reading an "Am I the Asshole" story from Reddit. I was like, that starts out really interesting. Like, I want to see where this goes, but they are
I
so
know.
slow, and like I can't I just want to see how this ends, but I can't scroll away because I'm too engaged. But it's so fucking boring. Like 2 times speed, please. Okay.
Okay, there we go. But see, that's what I use. That's what I use YouTube Shorts for, and I use Facebook because Reels is literally the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So all of my Facebook Reels now are either gaming or they're people doing stupid stunts, which is pretty much the same thing I watch on YouTube. Minus all of the videos that are curated thanks to a 6-year-old that watches nothing but Minecraft, but none of my Minecraft content because I'm not cool enough.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like my YouTube feed is very much like reaction videos on my favorite.
I honestly
shows,
thought that personally, I honestly thought when
game videos.
For me, thinking of what your YouTube would be filled up of would be like Taylor Swift and Bluey. I really thought that's where we were going with it.
There's a lot of currently there's a lot of like One Piece reactions and
One Piece reactions,
Electric, like the live action version.
Okay.
Because it's really good.
I gotta hop off though.
Yeah.
I got dinner. So, but it was good hanging out. If you guys are still live, I'll when I'm done with dinner, I might
always
pop
welcome.
in.
You know the link.
Yep, sounds good.
Bye.
But yeah, and like there's a lot of like Electric Callboy reactions because that's like it's a metal band that's just so funny because they don't take themselves too seriously, and I love that about them. And they also make really fucking good music. And whenever people discover them for the first time, it's always such a fun ride. So yeah, I love watching things like that. And that has a tendency to have an effect on my feed. And then will be like video essay on this video game for like that's like an hour long, and there would be like a High Rollers D&D stream like for like 3 hours.
Oh yeah, D&D. Yeah. Yep, can't mix that. Yeah, so, mine is pretty much Arc Ascended feed, just like PvP on Arc.
I mean, like, was it Arc full of Arc 2 weeks ago? Probably not, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Why I got a feeling that it was something more recent for you.
Sorry for the deviation about that.
No.
I was just I thought it was more relevant talking about layoffs and all
definitely.
that.
Let's see here. So if some older Windows EA titles like Star Wars and Battlefield titles will no longer be they will no longer guarantee game functionality on that from EA, and Ubisoft will also retire some online services.
Battlefront 2, didn't the remake Battlefront 2 Star Wars one, didn't that already not have support?
I think they've stopped developing for it, but it's still like, I mean, if you have an issue with it, they will be like support will help you out. Now it's to a point where like I think this was for the first remake of Battlefront. It's like if you have an issue with that game on PC, or reach out to support, they will be like, sorry, we don't support that game anymore. At the same time, like the Ezio trilogy, Heroes of Might and Magic 6, Trials of Evolution are among some of the games that will be have their online services decommissioned by Ubisoft soon. What do you feel like? Is it fair that older titles like that is like, this game is now 10 years old?
Well, I mean, Titanfall 2. We'll go throw that at you.
Like,
so Titanfall 2.
Like,
it's just
if
time.
a game is like 10 years old-ish, is it fine for them to be like, hey, if you want to keep playing it, it's on you. We can't help you anymore.
Yeah. I don't see that as an issue because they had to pull resources to actually develop the new games. So
yeah, No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I've also seen retweets of this article and be like, hey, "What? Oh, Ubisoft sucks for doing that."
Of course.
Come on. Like,
Of course.
Like, did you expect them to keep like Heroes of Might and Magic 6? Like there is a Heroes 7 out. Why would they keep the online servers for 6 alive? That costs money for them.
Nostalgia, man. Nostalgia.
If you want nostalgia, I think there's some fan-made servers for Heroes of Might and Magic 3 and 5.
Yeah, leave it to the modders
Play
to
that instead,
go for it.
Or like, did you know that there is a Battlefield Middle Earth 2 community that has like host their own servers? You can play on like there is online matchmaking for that. So if you can get the game to run on your PC, which is great.
Same for Titanfall 2. There's a community that
Yeah, I mean, and I think like if you're gonna shut down the game, like that'd be like, hey, community, you can do whatever you want, whatever the fuck you want now, go for it. Which, to be fair, most of these companies do in most of these cases. So apparently EA, I mean, they dropped the FIFA brand and went with EA Sports FC instead this year to save $2 billion a year. I think they paid FIFA for the license.
So FC is the new title?
Yeah, so like basically FIFA, like the organization FIFA was like, hey EA, if you want to keep using the name FIFA and our license, and with that comes also a license to 13,000 player names and faces and these team names and the teams, stadiums and shirts and everything. Like they were like, if you want to keep using our brand and our license for that, that's gonna be, we're gonna raise the price to. It's gonna be $2 billion a year from now on here on out.
Oh, okay.
At which point EA was like, fuck that shit. So EA instead went to every single league separately. I was like, hey, Premier League, can we get the same thing we got through FIFA? Can we just get that directly? What's the price? And then did that with all of them, and probably came away way cheaper. But then they also couldn't name it. Then it also couldn't be named FIFA 24, so they went with EA Sports FC 24.
What does FC stand for then?
Football club.
Oh. Okay.
And I mean, like, there's a lot of like football clubs out there called like City FC, like this football club, this and this FC, or FC FC. I think it's Barcelona. It's FC Barcelona, if I remember correctly. So like, FC is a abbreviation that's common in the football industry anyway. So it makes like it's a title that makes sense, even though like FIFA 24 is like more
well known,
more well known, but like FC 24 isn't that bad, and everyone knows like EA, the football game from EA, everyone knows.
Exactly.
So yeah,
almost like
FIFA became too greedy.
Almost like Call of Duty every year, something new.
Yeah. And the new one is on track to beat the last one, despite the name change. So yeah, screw you, people at FIFA. I guess like that paid off. Hey, thank you, Neil, for pointing it out.
GFN is back online.
Back online. Awesome. But keep us on in the window because we're not done yet. FYI, if you're interested in getting Shadow, they have a bundle right now where you can get the game Park Beyond when you sign up for Shadow. Or if you already have Shadow, you can buy the Park Beyond bundle and get a discount on your next month.
Nice.
Cool. And they also mentioned like this is the first. We're working on more bundle offers, so stay tuned. So there might be more options like this if you want to get Shadow PC and also get a fun game with it. Park Beyond looks fun as well, so I would be interesting to dive into. I am currently having a lot of fun with my daughter playing Planet Coaster, which is a great game.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, so she's like, I want this, Daddy, and like I'll like point at the TV like I want that one, and I want it to look like this, and then I build it for her, and then we have unlimited money on, and I occasionally have to like when she leaves the room, go in the bed like. They're just gonna shut down, but before I do, I'm just gonna rehire everyone who'd left because they were unhappy with their workplace. Like last time we played was like I realized when we were shutting down, like why is there so much trash on the like we have like 10 janitors. Oh, like because
they just
half
left.
the janitors left because they were bored at work because they didn't have enough to do. I was like, well, now that half of you left, there's too much for you to do. So yeah, I couldn't be bothered micromanaging. So yeah. Black Nut is adding some new games during November. Sniper Ghost Warrior, Tales of Iron, Eldest Souls, Serafest, Button City, and some others. Good to see these smaller cloud services being, alive and kicking and doing well. I've actually never tried Black Knight myself, but I mean, I've heard good things about it, so
yeah, good
to see them thrive. And for Netflix gamers, even though there's apparently less than 1% of us, less than 1% of people having Netflix use Netflix games, but still, Dead Cells is a great game if you like platformers. I think I read that it had sold like 5 million copies in China alone. It's a really popular, really good indie platformer. The Netflix edition is now available on Netflix.
Very cool.
And Honkai Star Rail.
Star Rail. Hey.
do you play it?
Or did you play it I play it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I know people who play it. It's now entering the cloud gaming sphere. Boost Royal has added it to the service. We're making it the first place. Currently, I think the only place to play Honkai Star Rail. It also added some other games as well, I think, this week.
Yeah.
But I don't think. So this is along with Vampire, Metro 2023 Redux, and Last Light Redux as well, and possibly some others.
For those who don't know, Honkai Star Rail is the sister game to Genshin Impact. So if you've heard that game, this is from the same studios, MiHoYo, and they've developed this Honkai Star Rail, which is a turn-based versus a free roam where you move your character. So it's been nice little changes, and I've been enjoying it. It's fun.
And like, even if someone doesn't like Honkai Star Rail or Genshin Impact, one thing that you can't deny, the music is fucking amazing. Like the composer at I think he recently left. He was a salaried employee. I think he left now to pursue some more freelance stuff as well.
Okay.
But still doing music for them. But as a contractor, that composer is just the next level. Like I think I've seen someone a YouTuber I watch regularly called Marco Meatball, who guested Hear Me Out a couple of months ago. He's an opera singer turned YouTuber voice actor who deep dives into video game music. Has like 200,000 subscribers or something like that, and he's really into these music. So I heard a lot of tracks through him. And it's like I was blown away with by them. I think he called it like this is the evolution of classical music and opera music. Like video game music in general, but specifically Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact.
I mean, like a sort of a slight deviation, but sort of along the same veins. Another free-to-play game is League of Legends, and they make amazing cinematics. If you haven't seen,
I've seen it.
And it's a free-to-play game. They just make some. I think they just recently did actually a TV series per request.
Arcane, right?
What?
Isn't Arcane the League of Legends, or is Arcane?
They did a TV series on Netflix, I believe. That's Arcane,
which was like one of the biggest animated series ever. I started watching it; it was really good, but I just I didn't have time to finish it. But and I think season 2 is coming soon. It's also fun fact with that one. I think the music for that one, the guy who runs that show. The showrunner used to be the composer on League of Legends, and there are like themes in the show. There's like usually you write a theme, then you write some piece of music, and then try to use at least elements of it here and there. And this is like no, like every single minute is just new music. Like there's no repeat music at all, which is like insane. And like the whole it was basically, I think Riot said to the show like you just make sure you don't break the lore, otherwise go nuts. You have there are no limits. Do whatever the fuck you want. You have basically unlimited budget, and he just went with it, and it was like one of the biggest TV shows of last year, I think.
It's crazy.
Awesome to see. So look at some PlayStation. Last week they rolled out the PS5 streaming for PlayStation Plus Premium members. First in Japan, then in Europe, and then in North America as well. Have you tried it yet?
I don't own a PS5, so I cannot
you're right.
try it out. So
And I haven't had time to try it out properly. Even though I should have had time, but no. The only
I was asking Rudig on how it actually works and all that, and I'm like, this might give me to buy a PS5 down the road.
But at the same time, it's so weird. It's like yes, it means I can keep playing Horizon Forbidden West at PS5 quality and not have to bother with having it installed, because I don't it took me 5 hours and then I was out of storage space when I got my PS5. Because it's like, oh, I want to play this one, oh, and this one, oh, and this one, oh, and this one, and it's full already. I mean, sure, I have like 100 games installed at this point with an extended hard drive for all the PS4 games and things, but still, like it's nice to be able to stream some of them. But at the same time, like currently I'm playing, if I play at the PlayStation, I'm playing FIFA, or the kids are playing Sackboy. That's pretty much it.
Sackboy's good.
Yeah, Sackboy's it's so much better than it has any right to be. Especially it's so good, and the music is just insane. So yeah, like whenever we play on the PlayStation, it's usually like one of those games, and it's like, well, I don't need to, like, the games I have installed are the games I currently want to play, all the games I own, except maybe Forbidden West. But it's like, I mean, do I sit down and play Forbidden West for 3 hours now, or for like an hour now, or do I just continue my FIFA run and head to bed? One of them is easier. So,
the gaming life. Which game to play today?
Yeah, exactly. So like, I do want to try it out, just to have tried it out properly. But at the same time, I'm in no rush. But it's good to see that it's rolling out, and it is a bit of a bummer that it's only on PS5s. Like, if I wanted to stream a PS5 game with PS5 quality but without, within, like, let's say 1080p, why couldn't I do that to my phone or to my PS4 or to my PC? Like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it
Might
is.
be down the road.
Down the road.
Yeah.
Small steps, baby steps. Also, PlayStation Plus will be getting 3 new games. On all tiers. Aliens Fireteam Elite with music composed by Austin Wintory, who I'm a big fan of. Supposedly a great co-op game. Dragon Ball The Breakers and Mafia 2 Definitive Edition is joining PlayStation Plus. And then also, I think 7 new movies are being added to this new Sony Pictures Core that's launched recently, which is like, so I mean, they raised the prices of PS Plus, and then was like, yeah, but will you now like sweeten the deal a bit? We'll give you some movies, because I mean, Sony makes a lot of movies, so it makes sense for them to be like, hey, I mean, yeah, if you're a member of PlayStation Plus Premium, you also have access to these movies. There you go.
There you go.
And I mean, the quality of these movies aren't, for the most part, great. There are a few movies in there that was like, that is interesting, but most of them is like, this seems like a sequel to something that was like straight to video, and probably about as good. So yeah, but yeah, 7, like, yeah, the 2,000 movies are available to PlayStation Plus members through Sony Pictures Core, and some new games coming. More games for the extra premium tier coming in the middle of the month as usual. For the Xbox crowd, this is a good list of games. I would say coming to Game Pass in the next couple of days or weeks. Dungeons is, if I remember correctly, Dungeons is pretty fun. You have the Football Manager, the Cloud console and PC has a console edition, and then there's also the normal PC edition. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name is dropping on all of them as well. Spirit Tea, Thirsty Suitors, War Tales of Wild Hearts, and Coral Islands. Anything here you want to take a look at?
I have not heard of any of these games. So
Wild Hearts, I think, is like EA's I've heard good things about it. It's kind of like Monster Hunter.
Okay.
But not made by Monster. It's like a new fresh take on the Monster Hunter style.
Okay.
Like a Dragon is obviously Yakuza. Like a Yakuza spin-off. Spirit T, I've never heard of it, but let's. So Thirsty Suitors is a stylish RPG with active turn-based combat, skating, and cooking. Football Manager is obviously like a hardcore management game for football. Like if manager mode on FIFA is your jam, then maybe this will be fun. But this is hardcore in comparison.
Is it like fantasy football in a sense?
It's more like you pick any team across the world, and there's like I think you can go down to like the 5th division, some local teams that are honestly quite bad. I think the suburb that I live in have their own team. That team is in this game. They're in like the 4th division in Swedish football.
Got it.
So like the non-pro, like semi-pro and upwards in most countries are in this game. And then you pick any team, or you can pick a pro team, and then you're the manager of that team. So you have to decide which what they're gonna practice, which formation they're gonna play, when to do, when to switch from attacking to, you're basically the manager screaming at the sidelines like, go back, defend, or like,
okay,
or like, hey, you get off the pitch. This one goes in instead, and things like that. But it's also then the whole economy side of things, like the keeping the club solvent and financially stable. And of course, as a manager, if you fail in any of these things, you can get fired, and then it's game over.
Crazy.
Or you can be like, hey, yeah, I mean, I've now brought this team from this league to this league, and I'm now gonna find a job at an even better club and try to do it again with that club, and it's that's sort of it. Very much menus. That said, it's kind of fun. Like, not gonna lie, it is kind of fun. And then Dungeons 4 is available day 1 on Game Pass. Dungeons 3 I've played a little bit and had a lot of fun with. It's basically it's a management game where like you build cozy and comfortable dungeon to suit your creatures. So like, instead of being like the dungeon crawler, you design the dungeons that adventurers are going to come in and be like, oh, and this room is where the imps live, and now you gotta keep the imps happy so that they can kill adventures for you. Things like that. And then Yakuza style adventure in like Dragon. So yeah, Wild Hearts is a you hunt out, use master ancient tech to hunt down giant beasts in seamless co-op. Spirit Tea is okay, so it's a cute, cozy life sim inspired by Stardew Valley and Spirited Away. That sounds good. Run a bathhouse, make friends with people in town, and partake in hobbies like bug catching and karaoke. And then Coral Islands is a game where you it's some sort of like cozy survival game. But not mentioned in the image on top of the things, 3 games are actually available today on Game Pass. War Tales is an open world RPG where you lead a group of mercenaries in their search for wealth. I think I read about this game, and I remember being curious about it, so I'm definitely gonna check that one out. Jusant is a climbing adventure game that I saw. I think Ashes to Ashes was mentioned in the Discord that it was a really nice palette cleanser of a game. So yeah, climb a mysterious mountain. Use your climbing tools. And then Headbangers Rhythm Royale. We'll get into that one more later down the line. But it's a rhythm battle royale with pigeons. Let's leave it at that as a teaser. Sounds apparently really good. So yeah, GeForce Now. I mean, you and I are both fans of GeForce Now. We use it regularly. New this week. I think the biggest thing is probably this weird addition of a virtual esports stadium where you can watch the League of Legends World Championship. So the Vertex Stadium is joining the GFN library, which is free. Are you gonna check that out?
Oh yeah.
Like, do you usually watch League of Legends?
Oh yeah. Worlds. I always watch Worlds. It's always been fun seeing the changes of the meta and all.
Because I've never seen any, like, apart from the AI, like AI OpenAI battle that was at one point. I think that was League of Legends. Like, apart from that, I've never watched it at all.
The one with the dragon intro.
There was this thing where, like, OpenAI, maybe it was Dota, when a team of AI agents was fighting against some pro players.
Oh, okay.
A couple of years ago, I remember watching that. I think it might have been Dota, but other than that, I don't really watch esports. I don't really have time for it. But I'm kind of curious to jump in and seeing what it's all like in the virtual arena. That would be fun, kind of fun.
What got me into esports was back in the Halo 3 days during MLG times. That's where I got the love for esports, and then I've not been as consistent, but yeah, I always go back to it when things are around.
So if you're gonna watch esports, it sounds like a virtual stadium is more fun than just watching it normally. So
yeah,
definitely worth taking a look at. And other than that, so yeah, there are some timestamps here. 9 a.m. Central European Time, quarterfinals, or all of them. So early morning for me. Maybe I should. I mean, this is right after my morning meeting, like during my morning meeting tomorrow. Maybe I should, after the morning meeting, just jump in and watch the final. I do work a half day tomorrow, so yeah, that would be fun. And then all throughout November, you can watch a lot of things. But yeah, let's go through the list. I've opened up a bunch of games here, so let's just take a look at some of these games. See if anything catches our eye. And the first one is actually Headbangers Rhythm Royale. And Indie Gates mentioned that this was a lot of fun, and I believe him because it looks so bonkers. So yeah, it's a fun game where you and 29 other pigeons are trying to be the one who rocks the most.
So it's like a Mario Party in a sense.
Yeah, it's like Mario Party mini games, where it's like if you fail the rhythm games, you're kicked out, and then it's battle royale, and until there's like one winner. So 23 different mini games, and then these pigeons are just gonna be crazily doing this rhythm.
Banging watermelons. That was cool.
Yeah, and then you can customize your pigeon.
Yeah.
And it's out on Steam, and it's out on consoles, and it's out on Game Pass. Game Pass day one. And I'm definitely gonna check this out. So the Steam version is out on GeForce Now as of today, but I think the Game Pass version was maybe that was out as well, or maybe the Game Pass version was gonna be a little bit delayed. I think it said different dates for the Steam and the Steam version of this one, but now in hindsight, I think those dates are both in the past, so it's probably fine. But yeah, it's out on GFN, so worth checking out. You gonna play this?
If enough people ask me to play, I'll probably get it.
Like, maybe we should do like a GFN community stream. That would be fun.
That would be great. Yeah.
Talk to Dom about it and be like, hey,
yeah,
Headbangers, let's do this.
That would be amazing. Have the GFN team. Yeah.
And then we have, as we talked about before, Jusant, the climbing game. So yeah, it's a bit like you're climbing this mountain with your climbing gear.
So is it like detailed where you have to watch your gear and you have to?
I don't know, but I've heard it's like it's about 6 hours long, and it's apparently a very good game and like a good, nice palate cleanser. If you come from something, if you want to play something that's different and maybe not these massive RPGs or action games.
Yeah.
And for once, just play something a bit smaller. So it's apparently a good one. Another one that I can personally recommend is Stray Gods, which is a murder mystery, but also a musical. Like, it's a narrative RPG meets but it's a full-on musical, like Broadway style musical.
Interesting.
which is also interactable within the songs. Came out a couple of weeks ago. Not on cloud though. But yeah, this song looks cool. Probably gonna give it a go. I think it was also on Game Pass. So coming very soon is also RoboCop.
Yes. Saw trailers on this.
Yeah, part machine, part human. So yeah, RoboCop, the RoboCop video game is out today and on GeForce Now. Very positive review so far, which is great to see. Because I mean, did you like read or watch RoboCop as a kid?
Not as a kid. I heard about it, but we didn't really have TV and stuff because we lived out in a 68-acre woods, so not a lot of access to stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I think RoboCop, people who were like 5 to 10 years older than me probably read some RoboCop comics as when they were kids, but I think it was like on the way out of the like kid zeitgeist when I was a kid, so I never really delved into it. But it's been one of those I've always known about, and I gotta say the game looks kind of cool. Then we have the Talos Principle 2.
Yes.
Great first-person puzzle game. The sequel to that out on the GeForce Now as well.
Yep.
Stranger Z is a free-to-play multiplayer survival horror game joining GeForce Now. Releasing tomorrow. So we have no idea if it's good yet. No reviews. But as someone who doesn't play horror games, let's move on.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, then we have Curse of the Dead Gods. I've never heard of this game before.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks interesting. So the Xbox, the Windows Store version.
Diablo. I'm getting like Diablo-esque vibes.
Yeah, same. Looks good.
Yep.
It's seemingly not on Game Pass, but the Windows Store version is now on GeForce Now. Then we have Daymare 1994 Sandcastle, which is a horror game, so we're gonna move on. Then we have Endless Dungeon. This is one that I've been interested to check out because the Endless universe, like they have the sci-fi endless games, and then they have the fantasy endless games. This is apparently some sort of in between. The roguelike tactical action game, like a dungeon crawler-ish. Recruit a team of shipwrecked heroes, plunge into long abandoned space station, and protect your crystal against the never-ending waves of monsters. Or die trying, get reloaded, and try again. Yeah, from the studio behind Humankind, actually. Then we have F1 Manager 23. The Game Pass version is on joining GeForce Now. Do you play F1? And
I don't play racing games.
Yeah, me neither. Let's move on then.
Looks like
I know some of the community really love them, but it's not really my style. Then we have this game, Heretics Fork. Dear candidate, we're pleased to invite you to take up the position of Manager of Hell. You will punish sinners by using your deck-building computer system to construct hellish towers capable of keeping the endless hordes of the underworld in check. Best of luck.
Tower defense. Huh.
Yeah. Tower defense in Hell, where you're the Manager of Hell.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at this guy playing it right now like it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like it's the sort of style of game that like I always want to find a good.
Oh, they're cards too.
Yeah, because like I've played so many of these on mobile. Where it's like, oh, this started out so well, but then I realized it's so crappily monetized that it's no fun.
Yeah.
But at the point, I've already invested like 5 hours into the fucking game. I wouldn't like to pick up something that's not free to play.
Yeah.
Bad monetization, but
behind paywall.
Something in that genre that's actually good. That's what I'm looking for. This might be it. Then we have Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged on Epic Games is now on GeForce Now.
Was that on Stadia, right?
The first one, yes. This is a sequel.
Okay.
I mean, as you said, I'm also not much of a racer, but this is more like this is sort of in between racer and kart racer, and that's more fun. And you can build your own tracks and be creative, which is also always fun. But the racing itself, like, because I remember from the City one, I was very like, oh, it's gonna be cool kart racer, and then realized, oh, but it's too much of a racer for me. But I wish I liked it more. Like it's not kart racy enough. It's too racy. This is a game that I like seeing it being joined on years now. This is a city builder with simulated citizens set in procedurally generated world map. This has been on my wish list for a year and a half, I think. Okay. As a fan of
early access,
okay. Yeah, it's an early access title, so I've been keeping an eye on it. So like it's a randomly generated place. You start building your city from like just a few houses into this massive thing. It's similar to like how Banished simulates every single citizen. This does as well, but it can grow a lot bigger.
So it's like Age of Empires meets City Skylines in a sense.
Yeah, except there's no like except as like in City Skylines, there's no really real combat. That if I remember correctly, it's more like building sustainable. Villages.
I saw the graph, so I was like, oh, City Skylines.
yeah, exactly. But it's also, to my understanding, it's also quite like sometimes maybe the if you you didn't account for the increasing population, everyone's now starving and everything's now going to shit. A bit more of that than
like Frostpunk in a sense.
I think it's like a nice in the middle of all of those, which is why I've been keen to try.
Have you been Frostpunk?
I never. I mean, I've gotten to the point where like I haven't beaten it fully. I've gotten to the point where like the massive storm is coming, and like the last like couple of hours of it, I mean, this is just gonna hold out a little bit more, but now it's like on the edge, and now it's collapsing, and crap, whatever.
Yep, that
Frostpunk is amazing, and I can't wait for Frostpunk 2 though. But I do love me some city builders, both the ones where the world is trying to kill my city, but also the ones where I can just chill out and build in and relax. Q2.
Q2. Oh, yeah, nice. Is a puzzle game.
Yeah. So this the Epic Games version is now launching on GFN.
Nice.
And apparently I have it in my library already. I didn't even know that.
Hey.
Must have been one of those free games you claim.
Yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah. Then we have Solstice. Same thing there. Claimed at some point. This is a dark world with hidden mysteries.
Oh, I think I've seen a trailer for this.
Diverse combat system.
Okay. It's out now. Okay. Yeah, I saw gameplay trailer. Like, it feels like a long time ago. But yeah, I remember seeing this and going, okay, yeah, potential.
Has been free on Epic Games at some point, because I do own it on Epic Games, and I haven't bought a game on Epic Games except I think I bought one game on Epic.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and then coming later, now we're going to get into the games like that. These were the games they came this week, or maybe, and now we're getting into the games coming during November. The Invincible is a game like this is a weird game because I've seen this one pop up in my feed a couple of times, and I've never really understood what it's about. So it seems to be like some sort of like figure out what happened kind of thing.
What's that one it was saying?
Yeah, not everything everywhere is for us. It's based on an iconic novel apparently. But yeah, looks good art style. Has won some indie awards, which is always cool to see, and it's dropping on GFN. Then we have RoboQuest, a fast FPS roguelite with a lot of color.
Giving like Ratchet and Clank vibes.
Yeah. And now we're talking Stronghold Definitive Edition.
Another city builder.
Yeah, except this one is...
But more Age of Empires type.
Yeah. And this is a really old game that's being re-released, like remastered. but it's not being remade. Just I think it's just making sure it runs on modern computers. But it's essentially
optimization.
Yeah, it's essentially I mean, you could play it as a city builder, but you could also just try to build the best best defended castle you can design, and then have hordes of enemies siege it and to see if you can beat them. Like even the really old ones could have like several hundred enemies going at your fully destructible castle, and it was like, so like the way you design your castle is more important than like how many troops you have. Like if you do a really well designed one, then that will keep you protected. And then yeah, Dungeons 4, as we mentioned before. Oop. There we go. Nope. Dungeons 4. The absolute evil and trusted servant returns in Dungeons 4. So yeah, you basically try to create a dungeon that with you dig out your corridors and rooms and put in traps and everything. French has been around for a long time. Then we have Space Trash Scavenger coming later. Spirit Tea, as we mentioned, the Steam version is coming to for now as well during November. This is one I'm keen on. This is also a build a dungeon and manage it, except this one seems to be maybe a little bit more. This is from the. You remember this Nahel Bauk? There was a city game released which was basically a 4-player RPG dungeon crawler. Released on the City Pro towards the end of it, and this is set in the same universe, but it's the other way around. You're now you're the dungeon master. You're trying to you defend your tower in the satirical heroic fantasy universe of Dungeon of Nahel Buluk, from shaky establishment to infamous lair. So yeah, you're trying to make make a place where adventurers can come looking for treasure and die. Which is fun. Like, this is a genre that was big like a long time ago, and that was dead for decades, but now it's coming back. I mean, this month alone we're getting 2 new games in this genre. And then we have Last Train Home, which is seemingly some sort of First World War or post First World War strategy game. Looks like.
Okay. A lot of strategy and city building type games lately.
Definitely. Let's see if I can get this to show. There we go. Gangs of Sherwood. There's a new game coming at the end of November. It's inspired by Tales of Robin Hood. It's a co-op game with a lot of flashy SFX. Hard to say what it's about. A bit more what it's about. I remember there was a game, like a Sherwood game, like where you. But I don't think it was this one where you had like a. This is a new reimagination of the world of Robin Hood. So up to 1 to 4 players can, with unique abilities, you go in and try to steal from the rich and give to the poor.
Reminds me of Dark Tide in a sense.
Yeah, Dark Tide meets Devil May Cry in the world of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's go.
Yeah, dope. And if you want to run your own airport, you will be during the month of November. Airport CEO will be joining GeForce Now. Arcana of Paradise, the Tower. No idea what this is. Some sort of puzzle game, I think. Yeah, it's some sort of card battler. Dropping as well. Blazing Sails is one that I've been keen to try out for quite a while, but never had anyone to play it with. It's a fast-paced pirate PvP game, essentially a battle royale with pirate crews. So you have your crews of pirates like in Sea of Thieves, but then it's a battle royale.
Sea of Thieves, okay.
So yeah, if the Sea of Thieves was a battle royale, this would be that. So you go in and you try to loot some treasure and sink all the other pirate ships.
Have we heard anything from Skull and Bones or no?
It was delayed until sometime next year.
Okay.
Breath Edge. This is some sort of sci-fi action puzzler, maybe mystery thing.
Yeah.
Very decent graphics, but I don't know if I have time for another one of those. The bridge constructed The Walking Dead. So if you want to construct bridges to let people escape the zombies, then you can do so. I mean, bridge constructor is always fun, but it's fun for a couple of hours, and then you're kind of done with it.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it gets later levels get too complex for my brain.
Geometry.
Yeah. Like, did you play the Portal one?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Portal one is a lot of fun. Where you get to think with portals as well.
Oh yeah.
Bus Simulator 21 is coming into GeForce Now, and this is one of those games where I played this when it was free on PlayStation Plus. So I was like, I was like, maybe this is more fun than I think it was. And like, you have to remember to hit the buttons in certain combinations to open the doors. But like,
It's not a simple lever pull.
yeah, and I mean, it's kind of clunky to do so. So when you do, it's like you gotta open the doors of the bus, but then time is still going. So because you couldn't figure out how to close the door afterwards, now you've lost like 30 seconds. So you're supposed to be on the next station already. It was just stressful. And then Farming Simulator 19 is joining GeForce Now as well. The Xbox version of it. I think Gunner Win 10, which I've never heard about. Which looks like an interesting art style for an indie game. Some sort of 2D platformer thing, maybe.
Metro.
Yeah,
Metrovania style.
Procedurally generated, the toughest hell procedurally generated 2D platformer. Yeah, I'm not gonna play that. If my style, but to each their own. And then we have Hearts of Iron, which is a great game. So if you don't have it on Steam, if you have it on Windows Store, the Hearts of Iron 4 is now on GeForce Now through the will be on GeForce Now through the Windows Store as well. Obviously, this is the big Paradox grand strategy game in World War II where you micromanage fucking everything, and it's great. Then we have a card game called Hexarchy.
Civilization.
Yeah, fast-paced strategy game which takes a really interesting idea. So they're trying to take the weight decisions of a big Civilization 4X type of game, but make it a action-packed 60-minute for a single run, which is cool.
Interesting. Okay.
Build a deck capable of founding civilizations that can develop economies, research new technology, and conquer all of it for you. Single player and online multiplayer. Published by Jogscast Games. I don't know, they had a publishing arm. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna add this to my wish list.
There we go.
Yeah. And then we have I Am Future, cozy apocalypse survival game.
We'll need tag vet for that one.
Yeah, we should tag vet for this one. Vet should come out. That's like Dreamlight Valley if it was post-apocalyptic. Imagine Earth, which is some sort of strategy game, I think. Yeah, this is a strategy game for sure. The Xbox version of that, and then we have Jurassic World Evolution 2. So if you have Game Pass, you will be able to in the future play the PC Game Pass version on GeForce Now.
Yep, I played the first one. It was fun.
It's good. But by the Planet Coaster team as well. Land of the Vikings, survival colony sim game. So
another sim game.
Yeah, but I mean this is more of a this is more like Frostpunk if it was Vikings. So wish list. That's my jam.
Easy.
What's this? This is Omnimusha. We would load the link, so let's just ignore it because I have no idea what that was. Overcooked 2, the Game Pass edition, is joining GeForce Now. So
Great
yet another way to play Overcooked 2 on GeForce Now, which is great to see because that's an amazing game. Saints Row 4 Re-elected. If you have it on Windows Store, you will be able to play that on GeForce Now soon. And then we have Settlement Survival. City building game where you lead a group of survivors in their search for a new home. Minutes with landscape, manage limited supplies, plant crops, hunt wildlife, gather resources, and develop trade routes. Wish list. I don't need more city builders because I play like the 50 ones I have already, but I like the concept, so I want to keep an eye on it. Shenzhen IO. This is some sort of hacking game, I think. Yeah, build circuits, write code, RTFM.
Cool.
I mean, it's one of those, like, the style of game I wish I could understand and have fun with, like, but I never will. Then we have Solvars, which is some sort of pixel art, turn-based deck building RPG, inspired by JRPGs. We have The Surge.
The Surge,
2
yeah.
will join as well during November. Thymesia.
I think I heard about this one.
Yeah, it reminds me of The Surge, but with more of a dark horror Lovecraftian vibe. There were Trailmakers, Game Pass PC game, which is this is like some sort of flying. Build a car, plane, or boat, or mash them all together, and it's a transforming car, plane, boat. And then you can play throughout the campaign, or you can just free roam. It seems. So it seems to be some sort of combat and modular building. Fun idea. Tropico 6. If you want to
City Sim, I think.
Yeah, if you want to be a dictator of a Caribbean island nation, and make friends with either the East or the West, and try to make as much money as you can off your poor citizens. And then we have War Tales. Yeah, this is a game I've checked out before. Like combat reminds me of Here's Might and Magic. And you're like trying to make this mercenary crew survive and get rich.
Nice. Okay.
We included with Game Pass, and I'm gonna add that to my wish list on Game Pass. I'm hyped for that one. And then we have the wonderful one, After School Hero, which is apparently a super fun side-scrolling laser ballad. Okay.
Lots of color.
Lots of color. Like it's a platformer built for kids, but it's not really for kids because you're shooting things with it, and like bullet hell as well. I don't know.
Like Beautiful Joe, if you played that on the GameCube.
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, this is strange combination of styles. It's good. And then we have West of Dead: Path of the Crow edition. Some sort of isometric. Very, very interesting art style.
Yeah,
but it's
definitely.
also horror, so let's move on.
Yep. Wolfenstein.
New Order. It will be joining GeForce Now as well. Which I think we have some of the Wolfensteins on GeForce Now. So the Old Blood and that one is joining soon as well. And with that, we have covered. How do I get rid of that one now? There we go. We've covered all the news.
Woo!
Did it. Thank you so much for joining me for doing that, man.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. Nice talking to you again. And what anything particular you're looking forward to doing in the next couple of days or weeks?
I am actually, by request from my community, I'm going to go back into GTA RP roleplay.
Oh.
So yeah, going to be jumping back into that.
Enjoy, man. I mean, RP is always fun. I say that as someone who both runs my own tabletop RPG streams and plays tabletop RPGs. I love role playing.
I played as a dispatcher at EMS, and then ER doctor. So far, it's been fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I remember reading an article back in GTA 3 days of someone, a journalist was like, I'm gonna do a weird ass challenge. I'm gonna see if I can live a week as a normal human being in the world of GTA. I'm not gonna break any laws. I'm just gonna, when I drive somewhere, like I'm gonna pretend I have a job somewhere at that location and I live at one location. Then he basically, drove there. He made sure to follow all the rules of the road. Not cross any red signs, red lights, not speeding, nothing. And I was like, I tried to not break a single law for a week in the game, and it was hard. Like, that game is not set up for being a civilian.
No, nope.
So yeah, good luck with being a civilian.
Yep.
But yeah, awesome. And any are you taking a break from Destiny content, or that's still gonna happen?
Pretty much what I've been telling people is Destiny content is sort of my main point, and then anything else branches out. So if I start getting Destiny content starts slowing down, I branch out, but then I always come back to Destiny.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have this core to come back to. As much as I love playing all kinds of games, I try to every now and then, whenever I can, just go back into family-friendly stuff.
Guild Wars 2 is your core?
It's kind of like my personal core, yes, but as a creator, I think my creative core is probably more like the family-friendly and like games for the whole family and gaming with the kids kind of stuff. Whereas while that, if you look at the amount, at my content, that is maybe 20% of my content, maybe, but at the same time, it's that is the core. So that's whenever I get lost and don't know what I'm doing, that's what I go back to. And then from there on out, I'll branch out to all kinds of things. So yeah, I'm about to start editing on my Baldur's Gate 3 video.
Ooh.
Yeah,
how many hours have you clocked into that one?
Not that many, because I don't have time. A lot for me. But I mean, if I compare it to someone who, most other people, is I've played 50, 60 hours since August, which for me is a lot. But for most people, it's what, you played that much? Is that all?
But have you beaten the game at least?
No, I'm quite close to the end though.
Okay.
But I already know I'm gonna go back for seconds and thirds and fourths and fifths and probably more. And yeah, so I recorded the script and it's 16 minutes, and then that's without any pauses for things. So it's probably, I don't know, maybe might end up being a 20-minute video or something like that. Although last time I said that, it ended up being a 12-minute video. So I cut it down, and this time I actually cut it up a little bit instead. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know, I have no idea if I have nearly enough B-roll. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Probably gonna be I need more B-roll, so I have to sit down and play Baldur's Gate for 5 hours now.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way too. It's I forgot to add that, so play the game. Yeah.
And I'm also kind of I recorded the other day during my lunch break some City Skylines 2. Planning on, I just gotta remove a weird I had a weird thing when I started the GFN app started updating just as I hit record, so I'm silent for 5 minutes, and then it starts. So I just gotta cut that away, and then I gotta upload that one. And if that does well, I might just keep playing with that city. I love that game. So it's a case of I have a lunch break where I can play games. I'll just play some City Skylines and then just upload that. That would be fun if that works out. We'll see. And yeah, other than that, it's just more Taylor Swift reactions for my other channel and more gaming videos.
Nice.
And then obviously Dragon Main on Tuesday for some more tabletop RPG adventures. The group recently managed to get out of a dark demonic temple that I was sure that was going to be their end, but they managed to get out of there scot-free and rich as fuck. So yeah, we'll see how much money they can spend and when they get back to town and see where they end up next. I have the list of adventures in card form right here.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll see where they end up. Maybe the Isle of Mists, or the Road's End Inn, or maybe the Oracle Cave, or the Troll Spire, or Fort Malice, or the Dead Ice Cave, or the Tower of Sighs. Who knows? We'll see where they
are. They murder hobos, or are they pretty?
Chill? I mean, they can be. They can be a bit more at times, but then there would be times where I expect them to be, and then they're not. So I don't know. where they would be like, "Hey, this like magical demon is toying with this old sorcerer," and they're like, "We're gonna make a deal with the demon." Like, okay, I just thought you were gonna kill it, and then they will meet someone who's like, "Hey, give me your cash. I need money for a drink," and they're like, "We're gonna kill you and throw your body into the river." Like, oh,
Exactly.
Okay. So apparently that happened. Yeah, part of like peak D&D, even though we're not
yes,
D&D.
exactly. It's amazing.
Yeah, so that's a lot of fun. But dude, so thank you so much for joining. I'm gonna have to head to bed and get ready for some small Halloween party with some friends tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So yeah,
Thanks for having me,
here, man. Thank you so much for joining. Let's roll the outro. Goodbye, everyone, and don't forget to check out N7 Spectres.